Okay, all right. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our Thursday night generic marketing webinar. Now, what we do, if you're here for the first time, is every Thursday night, 8 p.m., we do a marketing webinar to assist you in ultimately getting more leads, getting more sales, getting more recruits to your offer. Now, we tend to attract people that are in the network marketing, MLM space, those that may be promoting high ticket offers. And if you're in the affiliate marketing space, more those that are able to build a team of affiliates. Their models, it used to be that if you were an affiliate, you basically would sell a product and you were the only one that got paid. It was, just you, all right? But what we've seen over the past few years are models that have a hybrid. They're not complete network marketing or MLM where it pays 10 levels or binary or what have you. But you could still build a team of affiliates and be able to leverage a team of affiliates. We saw companies like, by the way, anytime we ever mention any names of companies on this webinar, it's for example purposes. It is not to promote them. It is not to endorse them. It is not to say, hey, join it or not join it or what have you. We just do that for example's sake. So companies like Empower Network, as an example, is, really there's like one person is getting paid when someone buys a product or buys a service, but there's a leverage-based component that they have with their model. And they weren't the first to come out with it, but they were probably the one that did it the biggest, that type of model. So I want to make sure that we've got the right people on the right webinar. Okay, you're here because you're in marketing in some sort of fashion, whether you're in network marketing, MLM, affiliate marketing, where you can build a team of affiliates. Maybe you're in a high ticket offer, and maybe you can still build a team of affiliates, or it's just you, and you're looking for ways to get more leads. You're looking for ways to generate more sales. If you're in the recruiting aspect, to get more recruits that generate sales so that you override that and what have you. Okay. All right. So now everybody should know why you are here. Now, what we're going to do tonight is this will probably be a multi-part series, because there's a lot of content that we want to share with you. But instead of trying to give you all of the content in one setting, I want to really take our time and make sure you walk away with saying, I get that point. All right, that one I got. I understand that. Okay. So instead of trying to give you, just a bunch of stuff, we'll give you a brief overview of what we're going to be covering, and then really dig in a little deeper. Okay, so here is where most people are in marketing, okay? This is a huge crowd, all right? And let's just think, in marketing, there's millions of marketers all across the globe, and they're promoting a myriad of different things. And so the question is, how on earth, Mary, Michael, Jack, how do we get you standing out of the crowd? How do we get you in your business so that people are doing business with you? Because even in your own company, all right, even with whatever it is that you may be promoting, let's say you're in the healthy coffee niche, okay? Even within that niche, there are sub-companies. So for instance, in healthy coffee, you've got companies, and again, I'm not promoting these companies, like Organo Gold. Well, that's one company in the healthy coffee niche. And then there's one that I've been seeing here a little bit, I think it's called Valentis. There's another company in the healthy coffee niche. But then within those companies, let's say you were promoting Organo Gold, for instance, how do you stand out so that someone joins you in Organo Gold? And not going to Holton Bugs, who is the biggest leader in Organo Gold. How do you stand out so someone joins you in World Ventures and not someone else that has littered YouTube with a lot of the YouTube videos about World Ventures? How do you stand out in your opportunities so that people ultimately want to do business with you? Because if we can't figure that out, if we can't answer that question, guess what kind of success you're probably going to have? Probably not much, okay? Let's make sure. I think I started recording. Let's make sure I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. So, whoops. So we want to show you things that you can start to employ so you start to stand out from the crowd. And so when people join, they wind up joining you. When people buy, they wind up buying from you. Now, will it be everybody? Certainly not. But we want to at least get a percentage of people joining you, a percentage of people buying from you. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to just kind of talk a little bit about the evolution of what we've seen. And I want to make this as interactive as possible. In your questions box, put the year, roughly the year. For me, it was 1994. The year that you first got into this industry. All right. I'd be curious to know how long you've been in this industry, but when did you get into this industry? Roughly, and you might not remember exactly, but all right, 2012, 1996, 2006, 1976, wow, 2013, 2003, 1967, 2009, 2011, in and out for a couple of years. Hey, Diane, good to see you. Diane, I saw your message. I just haven't had a chance to respond to you, okay? 2002, 2012, 1992, 2006, 2011, 2016. Oh, you're brand, oh. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Ned, if you heard somebody crying in the middle of the night and you were trying to figure out, who was that crying, it was Ned. Because Ned is a baby in our industry. He was just born in 2016. Congratulations, Ned, to our industry. 1978, 2003, 1984, 1988. Okay, all right, so now, all right, so I'm going to give you my experience. All right, so when I get into this industry in 1994, the internet was really just being introduced. All right, and some of you precede my 1994. I've got 1998. I've got 1978. I've got 1967. Okay, so the internet was not a big player when we first got into, I'm going to call it network marketing, MLM. Okay, and so when I first got into the industry, virtually everything was done offline, and this is when we would do things like hotel meetings. We would do things like I actually had an office. All right, when I first started, I started with a company called Primerica Financial Services, and my upline, my sponsor, actually had an office. So we would go to an office and do the business presentation. Sometimes it was in restaurants, sometimes it was home meetings, so on and so forth. Okay, now back then there weren't a ton of opportunities because most of the opportunities were localized, meaning because you were going to a hotel meeting or an office meeting or a restaurant or home meeting, you only had a few major opportunities that came into your area. And in my area, normally what would happen is you'd have one or two that were really big. Amway was big, Primerica Financial Services was big. There was, at the time, prepaid legal. Prepaid legal started coming on strong. I think it's called Legal Shield now. Okay, you had Mary Kay, and maybe just a couple of others. So there weren't a lot of opportunities at that time, okay? And so typically if somebody was in network marketing, they were in, something like this. Then, you had New Skin and you had a few other ones, but not a lot of opportunities. Now, what the internet has done, it has broadened opportunities. So now, this is a double-edged sword. Now, opportunities abound. There's no shortage of opportunities. Now, you've got to sift and sort through a lot of scammy stuff. You've got to sift and sort through a lot of stuff that is here today and it's gone tomorrow, all right? But there's really no shortage of opportunities. And all you've got to do is look into your email box every day, go into Facebook or any other social media that you might be leveraging, LinkedIn, what have you, Twitter, YouTube. All of us are getting inundated with all types of offers, okay? And so this is what it looks like. It looks like this. Just a sea of a bunch of stuff. Marketers marketing, some marketers market one thing, some marketers market 17 things. And so this represents our marketing universe All right, and this dude here, my little cursor, is in healthy coffee, and this dudette here, this young lady here, she's in like skincare, and this person over here is in cryptocurrencies, and this person over here is in nutrition. You know, if you just take nutrition, if you just take wellness within our industry, how many companies are in wellness that have a juice or have an oxygen product or have this or that, okay? And with every one of those, there's going to be somebody who has taken the product that will swear on something that product helped them lower blood pressure, or it helped them their eyesight, or they grew a leg, or it raised Lazarus from the dead. So how in the heck do you stand out among the crowd? So as we go back, you just had a few offers. Now the internet, you got offers that are bound. I was talking to a very dear buddy of mine just yesterday, and he was saying, you know, every time he's on Facebook, you know, he's getting, not only is he getting pitched all the time, he's getting a webinar invite all the time. I remember in 2001 was the first time that I saw, an internet presentation about a home business. All right, I had been in network marketing for 7 years before I saw my first internet presentation. And so we've seen this industry really evolve, but again, it's a two-edged sword. Because there's so many opportunities out there, and there's always something launching. Next week, you know, this big thing is going to launch, and then the week after that, you know, there's going to be a big thing that's going to launch. And of course, we've never seen it before, and the compensation plan is, you know, never seen before, the product and service and what have you. It's always earth-shattering. And all the leaders, how many of you have heard this one? All the big leaders are jumping on board. Who gives a crap what the leaders are doing if it doesn't impact your bottom line? That would get with all the leaders are jumping in. All the leaders, you know, all the multi-million-dollar leaders from the who cares? What we care about is how do we impact your bottom line. Okay, so what we've got to understand, the reason I wanted to paint that picture, we've got to understand that we are in an ultra competitive marketplace. We're in an ultra competitive, how do you spell it? Is that right? I don't know. Ultra competitive marketplace. And it gets more competitive with each passing day. All right, so let's consider a few things. So we've got more opportunities than ever before. That's good. All right, that's good. But that also means more distractions than ever before. So even if, let's say that you are my very dear friend Zeke and Jerry Stewart, who you will not find better builders. You will not find people that love their team and love their following more than Zeke and Jerry Stewart. I met Zeke and Jerry Stewart. I was a part of their organization way back. We first met, I think, it was in 2003. And I was on their team. We built a fairly large team. As a matter of fact, it was the first time we built as large of a team as we did, thanks to their leadership. You'll never find better people to be sponsors in a network marketing company. But I think if you could talk to Zeke and Jerry, they would tell you, my gosh, have things changed dramatically because there's so many distractions. So even if you are Zeke and Jerry and you build a big network marketing business, okay, what you're going to have are people in your team that get distracted. You're going to have people in your team that are going to be exposed to the next shiny object syndrome. And so these days it's very, very difficult to build, you know, this whole thing about building a residual income, it really has become elusive. I've got a dear buddy on the webinar right now. All right, he built a masterful team with a particular company. And unfortunately, that company didn't always do what they said they were going to do when they said they were going to do it. And so what happened with him is he's got this large team, he's got this huge team, and then the company doesn't come through when they say they're going to come through. All right. And what happens? Because the company doesn't come through, the product doesn't come through, which means some of the income doesn't come through, people start to, lose focus and go and start doing other things. So we've got to understand that in this marketplace, okay? It's a very competitive marketplace. Even within your own company, you are competing. You're competing because when you expose the name of your offer, when you let somebody know, hey, I'm promoting World Ventures, hey, I'm promoting, what were some of the names? Whatever it is you're promoting, all right? I'm promoting this. So many folks are going to ultimately go and do some research, and they're going to go to YouTube and they're going to go to Google, and then they're going to find other people talking about that same offer. And what used to happen back in the days before the internet is there was this code of ethics that governed the network marketing opportunity. It went something like this. If Marcus Harris introduced me to the opportunity, he invited me to the opportunity, he invited me to the restaurant, he got me on a conference call or what have you. If Marcus Harris introduced me to the opportunity, and then I was going to join that opportunity, there was no question. I was going to join that opportunity through who? Through Marcus, okay? That is what the code of ethics were offline. Do we see that happening online? Talk to me in the questions box. Do people adhere to those code of ethics online, yes or no? No. No. Let me tell you what they do, Cindy. They find out about the offer. They go and they research. Typically YouTube, now Facebook, maybe with some Facebook groups or some Facebook fan page or what have you, okay? And Google. So those are probably three of the places that people are going to go. They're going to go to Google, they're going to go to YouTube, they're going to go to Facebook. And they'll research the opportunity. And then if they want to join the opportunity, then they go sponsor shopping. It's not the same code of ethics that we saw before the internet. So now what we have to do is we have to market based on the current code of ethics, or based on, let's not call it, because based on the current methods. All right, we have to use current methods to stand out amongst the crowd. If not, we're not going to be successful. That's just the bottom line. If we don't, we can't use the old methods offline for them to and then expect to have success in this new global internet mobile world. Okay, so with that now being our backdrop, let's talk about what we can begin doing to start to stand out from the crowd, so that ultimately when people do join, let's say they join the offer that you're promoting, that they join you. Okay? All right. So, number one, we have to, this is not up for debate, we have to build and cultivate a responsive list. We have to build and cultivate a responsive list. I'm going to share a couple stories with you. Back in, I want to say November-ish. It could have been October-ish, or October-ish, November-ish of 2015. Okay? Very dear buddy of mine, whose list I am in. And he does a phenomenal job of communicating valuable information to his list. So for instance, I'm in his list. He doesn't just say, hey, join my deal. Okay? If he has a deal, yeah, he'll send out something that says join. But what he does is he brings value to his list. There have been times when he has sent out things where there was a little marketing training, a little tip about traffic, or a little tip about blogging, or what have you. And so what he would do is he would consistently bring value to his list, okay? So not every time that I opened up his email was it a pitch to join, or was it a pitch to buy, or anything like that, okay? So now, because he would send value to his list, and because I was in his list, all right, I would pay attention to, because I was actually picking up some marketing tips from him too. So I would pay attention, I would open up his emails. I didn't do everything he said do, but one day he sends out an email and he's talking about a specific offer. Because I had been in his list and he had brought value to me by being in his list, see, he was building and cultivating a responsive list, then I paid attention to that particular promotional message. All right, so he says, here's this company that's about to launch. This is why I'm joining it, da-da-da-da-da, all right? And there was no question that if I was going to join that opportunity, who I was going to join with. I could have gone to YouTube and researched it and watched other people's videos, but I was going to join him. Why? Because he had brought me value. He had stood out from the crowd, okay? He had stood out from the crowd. So what happened was, he had a list, and actually he's really one of the main people that was responsible for me actually getting this list building method. So when I first came online, I came online in 2008. All right, I had very good success offline, and I had a decent sized following, a few thousand folks that were on my team when I came online. So when I first came online, I didn't know that much about, I knew nothing about internet marketing. The first course I took, I invested into a course on YouTube. I figured that what I had gotten good at offline was training and presenting. And okay, well, let me train and present on YouTube. And then I started doing live webinars and things like that. Okay, so I didn't get the list building message, however, earlier on, 2008, 2009, I heard it, but it didn't become a part of my core, because since I was in the industry since 1994, what we had been taught, what I grew up in, was your natural market, your warm market. Make a list of everyone that you know, that you go to church with, or you worship with, or you went to school with, or you work with, and so on and so forth, okay? And so that's what was entrenched. And so this whole new method of advertising, paying money, that was new, because we didn't do that. We weren't taught that offline. We were taught friends and family, and then you get a few people that may join you, and then they get friends and family, and you get a few people to join them, and then they get friends and family, okay? So I wasn't taught this new way of traffic generation and paid traffic and build your email list and what have you. Now, I had an email list autoresponder, but I didn't really understand just how powerful that was as a tool, okay? So this particular gentleman introduced me to someone back in about 2012, 2013, that through that introduction, the light bulb finally went off. Oh man, I've been missing it. I need to be constantly building and cultivating a responsive list. So in any event, this gentleman, I'm in his list, he's providing value to me, all right? He sends out a promotional email talking about a particular offer that's about to launch. All right. It was never even a question of who I was going to join. I was going to join him because he brought me value. He built and cultivated a responsive list, brought me value. Okay, now here's what happened. When I joined him, I went to my list. Did the same thing. So I had a number of people. I think we probably had a couple hundred people join out of the gate. From my personal list, a couple hundred people that probably joined out of the gate. Now, obviously, my team was a part of his team, and he ultimately, in I think the first 30 to 60 days, they had a really sweet compensation. If you happen to grow a decent sized team, it wasn't necessarily for if you were a newbie. You didn't make a lot of money up front, but if you were a big leader, you could make a lot of good money up front. I think they've since modified that bonus structure. But he earned $40,000 in bonuses from a 30 to 60 day campaign, meaning he started doing, I do webinars, he does Google Hangouts. So he started doing Google Hangouts. I started doing webinars with my audience, and then he had other people in his list that started to promote, and so on and so forth. But all of that happened. None of that would have happened for him had he not had a responsive list. So how did he stand out from the crowd? He stood out from the crowd because he recognized that his true asset was not that network marketing company. His true asset was not that offer. His true asset was having a responsive list, okay? So one of the things we have to do if we're going to stand out from the crowd is we have to commit to building and cultivating a responsive list, okay? The second thing that we have to do, we're going to talk about that. And this is why we're not going to be able to finish all this in one night, because now we got to go through, well, how do you build a list and how do you cultivate a responsive list? And that's multiple training sessions, but I want to give you the big picture, and then hopefully we'll get a chance to delve a little bit into number one. Number two, what you want to do is you want to become a solutions provider to the broader market. In other words, you want to lead in with an, hold on. With industry-based solutions. Okay, now what does that mean? All right. We won't get into this in great detail tonight, but I want to give you just a couple examples, okay? All right, so here is what we have in the marketplace. You've got a sea of marketers marketing every type of stuff, from nutrition to electricity to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin offers, and all of these huge subsets, all of these niches, the nutritional beverage niche, the healthy coffee niche, the skincare niche, the cryptocurrency, digital currency niche. All of these niches within our industry have multiple companies and multiple products and what have you. All right. So you've got this sea of marketers. So one way to stand out is to look for solutions that, no matter what they are marketing, this marketer, that marketer over there, this marketer on the left, this marketer on the right, they're having a challenge, they're having a problem. And if you can present to them a solution to their problem, and especially if you can monetize that solution, even if they haven't joined you in your primary business, they're more likely now, because you've introduced solution-oriented products or services or systems, they're more likely to ultimately take a look at whatever it is that you're promoting. So you've got to remember this, that 95% of the marketers in our space are struggling. Please understand this. 95% of the marketers in our space are struggling. Now, here's the thing. If you start talking to them about your offer without being able to frame that offer as a solution. So let's say that you are in healthy coffee. I'll tell you what. You tell me what you're in. Once again, in your questions box, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you are promoting. Tell me what you're promoting, if you would. And yes, Jeff, I was talking about you, buddy. All right, travel membership, travel, basic reset, okay. There's one I can't pronounce, Valentis, Infinii, paid to clicks. Okay, all right, and keep them coming. All right, so here's going to be my question for you. Okay. How does the person who says I'm promoting Infinii, what solution does Infinii offer the larger marketplace, all of these other marketers? Okay? I want you to ask yourself that question. That's a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer it. If you have an answer, that's great. Okay? Someone is promoting Valentis. What solution does Valentis have to the broad marketplace? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. All right. If it doesn't, then we have to find a solution that we can lead in with, because it's going to be difficult to stand out in the crowd just leading in with another offer. Yeah, but this one pays 100% commissions. Well, so did Empower Network, or so does Empower Network. But if you look at their income disclosure statement, since 2013, 92% of their affiliates made less than $100, even though they have a 100% commission payout. I'm not foo-fooing on Empower Network, but I'm just saying, if you say, well, we got this great compensation, but that's not enough. Because there's a bunch of companies out there that have great compensation plans. But I've got this great product. That's not enough if it doesn't bring a solution, if it doesn't provide a solution that other marketers in other companies would find viable for what they are promoting. Okay? So I want you to be thinking. Now, does it mean you stop promoting World Ventures? It doesn't mean that you stop promoting your nutritional offer, or your Bitcoin offer, or your travel membership, or whatever. It doesn't mean that. It means that we need to incorporate something else so that we can have a broader reach. Now, so since we need to have a solution-oriented something, product, service, what have you, okay, that can appeal to the broader market and not just our smaller niche. We need to have something that can appeal to the larger marketplace and not just our small. You may love your travel niche. You may love your cryptocurrency niche. All right. I've got an offer that really over the past year, I really have seen just how powerful the offer is, because I haven't even promoted it in 2 years and it still produces a nice residual income. And I got to thinking, well, shoot, maybe I need to put a campaign together just to promote that thing, because it's doing well. But that's a small part of the overall marketplace. Now, I want you to help me. You tell me, what are some problems? What are some challenges? What are some pain points that marketers are dealing with in the overall marketplace? And it can be yours. All right. What are people doing? What are people having challenges with in building their organizations, in making sales, in getting recruits? You tell me in the questions box. Getting leads, getting people interested. By the way, Joseph, getting people interested is going to be a function of building a responsive list. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hey, Queen, you here? Getting good leads, getting leads, duplication. Okay, hold on. I need to put some of these up. Hey, Queen, I missed you. Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right. And so, Queen, do me a favor in the questions box. Read what some of the folks are saying there. So here's what I want you to put. I want you to put the problems and challenges that you know most marketers are having. It could be you. We won't call your name, but what are the problems that people are having that's causing them not to be as successful as they would like to be in their business? All right. So we've got getting leads. What else do we have, Queen? Can you read? All right. Money. Okay. 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 But by the way, for our recorded audience, Queen is in my headset, but you can't hear her. So you're seeing me type what she's reading to me. What else do we have, Queen? Okay. What else do we have? So what else do we have? Okay. So money, leads. All right, and we could break leads down a little bit because you've got what you've got to have. Uh, okay, convert. There we go. Conversions. All right, and convert. All right, and so we're going to go through some of these. All right, we're going to go through some of these. So we've got conversions. Um, what about this one? What about this? Uh, tech challenges. Has anybody said? Okay, all right. So tech challenges. How do I get a lead capture page and hook it up to an autoresponder and okay, that kind of stuff. Okay, all right. Um, I'm gonna put um, developing campaigns. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, let's say that you started a list or you have a list. Okay, what I tell you what. Hold on. This. Uh, uh, there we go. There we go. Developing campaigns. Let me give you an example. So a few years back, I'm promoting a particular offer, and one of the things that I did is, some companies might have a sales page for you, they might have a video for you, what have you, but most companies are not going to provide the type of marketing that you and I really need, all right, to stand out in the crowd. So what I did is I put together an autoresponder sequence. So when people would opt in to hear about that offer, okay, day one they would get message number one. Day two they'd get a second message. Day three they'd get a third message, so on and so forth. Okay, but Queen, it took a long time to develop that. See, the company didn't have that in place. Nobody that I was aware of in the company had that in place, or at least they weren't willing to share it. All right, and so developing that content, cutting that content, whether it's a video or whether it's written emails, how do you share valuable information? And why is that important? Because you want to know how you get red hot buyer leads. There are no such things as red hot buyer leads that you just buy. You have to warm up those leads. Essentially, when you are getting leads, if you're going out and you're buying solo ads, or if you're doing pay-per-click marketing, or you're doing even YouTube, okay, those people that don't know you, they start off being cold. And it's a warming process of, hey, they saw enough of your YouTube videos, or they're in your list and you're providing value and you're sending out an email every day or every other day that's got some valuable content. That's what warms them up. You don't just go somewhere and buy red hot buyer leads. Okay, that just doesn't happen. It's a process of warming up that lead because you build and you cultivate a responsive list. So my buddy who made $40,000 just in bonuses over about a 30, 60-day promotional stretch. The reality is he didn't make $40,000 over a 30 or 60-day promotional stretch. He made that $40,000 because of all of the previous seeds. I had been in this guy's list for years. All right, all the seeds that he had sown of consistently providing value to his list. I'm in his list for years. That now, when he had this particular promotional message, all right, that I was open to that promotional message. I was a red hot buyer lead to him that had been in his list for years. Okay, now I'm not saying it's going to take years, which, by the way, he had monetized that relationship with me well before then because I had joined him in other things. Okay, but the way you're going to stand out is you have to cultivate a responsive list. Now, one of the ways that you're going to be able to cultivate a responsive list quicker is if you look to become a solutions provider to the broader market. So my question to you with what you are marketing, your healthy coffee offer, your skincare offer, your weight loss offer, how does your offer presently constructed provide solutions to the broader market? What are the problems in the broader market? No matter what they're marketing, people need good quality leads. No such thing as a hot buyer lead, all right? And there's going to be people who's going to try to sell you traffic. That's going to say stuff like that. But the reality is, if they don't know you, you have no relationship with them, there's going to have to be a period of warming up for them to do business with you. Okay, that's just the bottom line. All right. How does your product or service, how does your company help them with the money issue? Well, you know, if they, if this is the 3x10 matrix, if they get three, they get three, they get three, they're going to make a lot of money. Well, see, that's the problem. They're having a problem getting three. Well, it's a binary. All right. And if you get so much volume on the left side, you know, you get 10% of the weaker leg, or, you know, you get so much of a mix, you get, yeah, the problem is they're having a hard time building out the binary. Hey, hey, look, you can come join me and I'm building on my left side. Go on and get on my left side. That means all you have to do is build one leg. Listen, we've tried that, Queen. We tried that. Matter of fact, in one binary, I personally gave away at least 150 people that would have joined through my link. We spent we spent some time on a webinar, like 24, 48 hours, I forget how long, just going through my list. People say, hey, Doc, I want to join you. And I said, no, with this model right now, it doesn't hurt me to give sponsorship away. I want to help the team. And we did that, Queen. And guess what? Still, well, not just that they changed the comp plan, but we still had people that on one side of the binary, they had tens or hundreds, and they couldn't get, you know, 2 or 3 on the other side. All right. So my point is, you got to ask yourself the question, with what you're currently promoting, how does it help people in the broader market get leads? How does it help people in the broader market duplicate? How does it help people in the broader market build a list of leads that ultimately some of those people do become red hot buyers? I can tell you, I've got a list of red hot buyers. If I started promoting something tomorrow that's different than what I'm promoting today, I can go to a list, email and text list, and say, hey guys, hey guyettes, hey, something just came across my desk, you know, let me tell you about it. And I already know, Queen, I'm going to get people red hot buyer leads, but that didn't happen overnight. That was something I committed to, that you have to commit to, getting people interested in what you're promoting. You want to know how you do that? You build and cultivate a responsive list. Because now let me tell you what happens almost on a weekly basis. I'll get somebody coming to me, not to pitch me, but to ask me, hey, what are you doing? Because I provided value. They maybe have been with me in the past. Hopefully they made some money. And now they're saying, hey, what do you have? Just yesterday, big leader come, hey man, what are you doing these days? What do you have up your sleeve? Tell me what's going on. Keep me informed. Anything you're doing, I want to know. I had Queen with one offer. I had a couple leaders got upset with me because I didn't come to them and say, hey, I'm doing this. And they said, man, why didn't you tell me? I joined somebody else, but if I had known that you were in, I'd have joined you. That's what you want, but you've got to build that and you've got to cultivate that, okay? All right, conversions. You have to have systems in place to assist you with conversions. You know what? This is what we're going to do. I'm going to save this, and over the next few weeks, we're going to take some of these that you have listed as challenges, and we're going to go through some of these challenges as to, what can we do. So let's do that real quickly. Let's do that. Yes, Queen. What? Yes. The right place to invest funds to build their business. Now, I'm assuming they might be talking about, are they having a challenge with, okay, like maybe traffic, finding good traffic sources, finding the right tools and resources to help them build their business, so on and so forth. Is that what we're talking about? Okay. All right. So they're saying traffic. All right. So traffic sources and the proper tools and resources. All right. Now, what I mean by that would be things like, having a lead capture mechanism where you can capture leads. Okay. Along with that, then you need to have some way that you have a follow-up series. And that follow-up series needs to be something that's going out to your list on, really you want it on a daily basis, but it's not just selling, okay? It's not just buy from me, join me. It provides valuable content, all right? Valuable content that may not necessarily be buy from me. It's about warming up that lead so that when you do come out with your buy from me message or join me message, that even if they go to YouTube to go check it out further or go to Google to check it out further, they're only going to Google or YouTube to get more in-depth research information, but they're not joining the person that they saw on YouTube, because even though the internet code of ethics is different than the offline code of ethics, universal laws are still at play. And what starts to happen is this: when you have brought value to people, okay, they will almost feel guilty not doing business with you. There's certain folks that have brought so much value to me that I look for ways that I can give them my money, meaning I want to buy something from them. I want to join them in something because of what they have done in terms of providing value. Okay, so now, so let's go over the three things. Let's go over the two things real quickly, and then we're going to give you some potential solutions here, okay? But we're going to spend some time over these next few weeks really breaking down these solutions. So we said, number one, you have to build and cultivate a responsive list. That's number one. Number two, you want to become a solutions provider to the broader market. All right, I think it was about 3 years ago. Now, I first came online in 2008, 2009. There was a gentleman, I won't say his name, but there was a gentleman that I met early on in my online experience, okay? And, we befriended each other, maybe on Facebook or what have you. I don't think we ever did business together. I don't think he ever joined me in anything. I don't think I ever joined him in anything. And it was kind of one of those mutual respect things from afar. I knew of him, he knew of me, so on and so forth. So I went and did my thing, he went and did his thing. All right, what I did from 2009 up until here recently is I would find a network marketing company where I believed in their product, I believed in their service, I believed in their compensation system, and then I would run with it. And what I would do is I would litter YouTube ranking for that keyword. So if I was promoting Amazon Juice, this is a fictitious, all right, fictitious company. If I was promoting Amazon Juice, all right, I would do tons of videos about Amazon Juice. I would send out consistent emails to my audience. I would do live webinars. We would record those webinars, so on and so forth. All right. So I was focused on the offer. Okay. Now, I don't know at what point in his business he decided to do this. He did network marketing, lower cost network marketing, where it didn't cost a lot for people to join. You would think, okay, well, let's go that route because now we can get a lot more people into the business. Well, obviously, yeah, that you might get a lot more people into your business, but because it's a low amount offer, you're not making a lot of commission. So then he said, okay, well, let me go and do high ticket. I'll go and do high ticket. So I won't be dealing with as many people, but I'll be dealing with folks that have more money, and I get a sale. I make $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000. And guess what? That didn't work for him either, okay? And then I don't know the full story. I don't know if a mentor taught him this or if the light bulb just went off. The light bulb went off. How about I become a solutions provider? And what he did was he just immersed himself in traffic and lead gen strategies. And then he ultimately developed and launched a system to teach marketers traffic and lead gen strategies. And his business went from, I don't know where he was as a network marketer, but as he started becoming a solutions provider to the broader market, he got into the 7 and then ultimately 8 figures. Now, I don't mean that he put in his pocket profit $10 million a year or more. He may have. But I do know that at least in terms of gross sales, minus his advertising costs and things like that, just from the before you factor in his advertising costs, he's an 8-figure producer now. Okay. Now I've done 7 focusing on my deal. He's done 8 focusing on being a solutions provider to the broader market. Now here's the thing. How the heck can you become a solutions provider to the broader market if you're not making a lot of money yet? How can you be a solutions provider to the broader market if you still don't know a lot about lead generation? How can you be a solutions provider to the broader market if you don't do webinars and you don't do conference calls and you are not a content provider? Well, here's the answer. You leverage a system that is designed to be a solutions provider to the larger market. So not everybody's going to be my 8-figure guy and learn, I think he teaches like 20 different lead generation strategies, maybe more. Okay, Jeff, you know who I'm talking about. Maybe more, okay? And he's immersed in lead generation strategies. That is his focal point, because he realized that instead of selling, instead of going out mining for gold, he would rather sell the picks and shovels. Instead of just focusing on a specific network marketing offer that may be here today, may be gone tomorrow. Because we see a lot of that happening, right? We see a lot of them that are here today and they're going tomorrow. All right. Incorporate. Don't necessarily stop paying for gold, but at least incorporate selling tools, selling the tools that people need in marketing. And then you can always go, because you're selling the tools, and use those tools to go and paying for gold yourself. All right. So now, what launched not long ago, some of you are aware of it. All right. some of you are aware of it. Give me a moment. Is what we call RAS. And what RAS is, it is a generic mobile marketing system that allows you to appeal to the larger marketing universe. Okay? So, most of us aren't going to become what my buddy is now. He's many of the top gurus go to him for traffic generation strategies, okay? Most of us are not going to be at that point of providing solutions, but you don't have to be if you can leverage a system. And this system was designed to provide solutions to the overall marketplace. Now, next week, we'll talk a little bit more about why mobile marketing needs to be a big part of your list building efforts, all right? What this system allows you to do is it allows you to build the most responsive of all lists. If you do not commit to building a list that you own and control, meaning you can control the messaging that goes to that list, all right, so that if you're promoting healthy coffee today, you can talk to them about healthy coffee. But if you now pick up a travel offer tomorrow, you can talk to them about travel. And if you pick up another offer next week, you can talk to them about that. All right, what we see is sometimes network marketing companies will have what appears to be these lead capture systems that you can use with their companies, but in many cases, when you get the lead, you don't really control that lead, meaning you can't at will send them a message about whatever it is you want to send them a message about, okay? Now, what we found over a 3-year beta test period is that the most responsive of all lists is an SMS text messaging list. When I send an email to my email list, I'm going to get roughly a 5% or so open rate. I send an email to 10,000 folks, I'm going to get about 500 to open it up. That's pretty standard in our internet network marketing space. Now, when you do some research online about email open rates, you'll see stats that say that email open rates could be as high as 20%, but that's not in our industry. That's taking into account other industries. So like when you go to Best Buy and you sign up for the rewards card, or you go to your grocery store and you sign up for the rewards card, and they send an email each week telling you about what they have on sale, those emails have about a 20% open rate. Network marketers, internet marketers, our email open rates are typically about 5%. Some of the big internet marketers that I follow, one guy named Ryan Dice, okay? If there's a Hall of Fame of internet marketing, he's in it. I remember he sent out an email, I'm on his list, about the top emails and the top subject lines that he sent out over a one year's time. And I think the best email that he sent out got a 9% open rate. At least that particular year. Now, there are certain parts of my list, like I've got a list now of, if I'm promoting a network marketing company, I'll build a list within that network marketing company. All right, well, and normally it's because people will come to webinars. So they'll opt into the webinar, they opt into the list. Now, I never send out any personal referral stuff to that list because it's not always my people, my personals that's opting into that list. And then that's what I use to communicate value to that list as it relates to that particular offer. And then we try to also bring other value just about marketing. Now, when I send out an email specific to, let's say, a network marketing list, that list will normally have a much higher open rate. I may get a 20-30% open rate there, okay? But here's what we know about SMS text message marketing. 90+%, some stats say as high as 98% of all text messages are viewed and seen. So my best list is a network marketing list where I might get a 20%, 25% open rate. My standard list, people that haven't joined me in network marketing, a colder list, I'm going to get maybe a 5% open rate. My SMS text list, cold, meaning they just opted in, don't know me from Adam, and warm or hot, people that have followed me for years, I know that when I send out an SMS text message, or my system sends out an SMS text message, 90+% will see the message. So in order for us to stand out, we must build and cultivate a responsive list. If you have not yet begun building a list, then it makes sense to start building the most responsive of all lists. If you're building an email list now, don't stop building your email list. Incorporate SMS text message marketing. Now, let me tell you where I believe we are relative to the marketplace. My first online presentation that I remember seeing, an internet presentation about a network marketing opportunity, was in 2001. I got my first email autoresponder in maybe 02, 03. But I didn't understand how potent and how significant my email autoresponder was. My email autoresponder is far more important than any singular network marketing offer, period. My SMS text messaging system now is far more valuable than any network marketing offer, period. But wait a minute. Here's this company over here, 100% commission. Doesn't matter, because you know what? Since the time I got my email autoresponder, 2002, 2003, somewhere around there, to now, 2017, 13, 14 years later, I don't even know the number of opportunities or offers that I've promoted. And it's not because I wanted to go from a deal to another deal to another deal. Now, I'm more of an entrepreneur, where it used to be that I only focus on one deal at a time. That's not me anymore. I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket. I was taught to, when I first got in this industry in 94, it took a long time for me to break out of that, hey, I don't have to just promote one offer, okay? But with all of the things that I've promoted, what has remained constant was I had a list. Again, I didn't always know how powerful it was to consistently build that list and consistently communicate with that list. I didn't really get that message until 2013. Jeff, it was when you introduced me to the Never Chase people. And we had some conversations, and I was like, wait a minute. I was over here and I was making more than six figures a month with a particular opportunity, and I did not put one dime in paid marketing to build my list because I didn't get it. I want you to get that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm making well over six figures a month. And I didn't buy one solo ad. I didn't do one pay-per-click advertising campaign. With 100,000 plus a month coming in, easily, I should have had a $25,000 a month or more advertising budget. How much more would I have made? Okay, well, I can't go back there, but I can teach you so you don't make the same mistake. Here's the thing I'm saying. It took up until about 2013 before I got the email list building message that I need to be building my list every day, that my focal point should be my list, not my offer. My focal point should be my list, not my offer. If my focal point is my list, building it, one, cultivating a responsive list by providing value, number two, then no matter what my offer is, a percentage of my list will buy, a percentage of my list will join. What RAS allows you to do is to build the most responsive of all lists, the SMS text messaging list. You want to stand out? Most marketers are not using SMS text messaging to build their list. There's a few, but most marketers aren't. And so here we are at 2017, and most marketers, even most big leaders, even today, Most big leaders are talking about building a list, but they're talking about it purely from an email marketing perspective. Most marketers, even the big boys and big girls, are not talking about building an SMS text messaging list. Who's going to win? Who's going to stand out? The person that builds an SMS text messaging list that their system sends out at least one valuable text a day that brings value to that list person. And so the person, John is in your list, Mary's in your list, and she's getting a text every day that is coming from your system, bringing value to her. So every day she gets a text message from you. Just standing out, because she's not getting text messages from a ton of marketers yet. Yeah, she's getting a text message from her grocery store to let her know that she's got some coupons. She's getting a text message from, some big business somewhere where she applied for a rewards card. But she's not getting, I don't get SMS text messages from network marketers. Every now and then, but it is so rare. You want to stand out? Employ an SMS text messaging tool so that you can build an SMS text messaging list so that you can communicate with them via text. People wake up with their phones. They go to bed with their phones. They go crazy if they lose their phones. Let's not come to this party, in my case, I feel like I came to the party at least 13 years late. I feel like I should have gotten the email marketing, the email building, the list building message back in 2000, 2001. It was there. I just didn't get it. It was there. It was there. I just didn't get it. When I came online in 2008, the first system that I joined was a system that talked about you need to get leads. And for whatever reason, it took another 5 years before the light bulb went off. Don't let it take 5 years before the light bulb goes off. By the way, I put out far more money per month for all of my list building tools than I do for any singular network marketing offer. Because I now know it's about building a responsive list. Just with email. My email marketing tools are about $400 a month. I gladly outlay that because it helps me to build and to connect with my email audience. And a percentage of my email audience have now become part of my SMS text messaging audience. So I can tell you, your focus needs to be on building and cultivating a responsive list. And if you are putting more money into the authorship of your company, the monthly subscription of your company, and I'm not telling you to stop that. What I'm telling you is you need to look at list building differently. You need to look at list building as this is the foundation of your business. Without responsive list building, this is going to be you. You're just going to be another one of these people in the crowd. And you might get a few sales here and there. And you might get a few people joining you here and there. But it's likely that you're not going to build a long-term sustainable business. Your long-term sustainable business is not your offer, no matter how pretty the offer is. Your long-term sustainable business is you and your following. Okay, so let me tell you what we've done with this system, okay? It's a generic mobile marketing system, allows you to appeal to the larger marketing audience. It allows you to build the most responsive of all lists, which is an SMS text messaging list. For those that leverage our system, RAS, you can actually come into RAS and you can buy mobile opt-in leads. Now, these leads are more responsive than any other leads I've purchased as it relates to like driving traffic, solo ads, and things of that nature, okay? Now, I'm doing some testing. I'll start some testing in a couple weeks. I want to test something to see if it works for me, and if it works for me, then I'll bring back to our audience to be able to add to this, all right? But right now, the most responsive leads I have seen are these mobile opt-in leads where you simply go to our system, you don't have to know anything about lead generation, and you buy opt-ins. I did a recent purchase. I can't promise this for you. And one purchase, I actually got 4 sales of our RAS system from that one purchase. Well, one sale of our RAS system will cover my my purchase, just one. And ultimately, I'll wind up being profitable if I just get one sale because of the residual income that the system has, okay? With one campaign, I got 4 sales. I'm not saying you're going to get 4 sales every time you do that, okay? But I am saying that this is a great way to start getting opt-ins. What we said is people need leads. And so here is a way that people can, without knowing anything about lead generation, we want them to learn about lead generation, okay? But without them knowing anything about lead generation, they can get leads. And now those opt-ins are getting messages every day from our system. I can begin developing a relationship with them. I can provide value even beyond the systematic messages that our system sends, like I can send them the recording of this webinar. And guess what? We make these recordings available for our audience. So what? So that you can send recordings of this webinar to your audience. Notice I've not mentioned my name. I want you to notice that, all right? So, yeah, you know of me as Doc, but all that is Doc. Nobody's just going to go to Facebook and find out who I am because I said Doc. And we did that intentionally so that you can bring value to your list. You don't have to be the content creator if you follow what we're doing. Feel free to leverage our content because I never say my name. So send somebody this recording and then have them to come back to you for whatever it is that you are promoting. But one thing I would strongly recommend is that you get RAS, because RAS allows you to present solutions to the broader marketplace. And even if you are a newbie, because the system was designed to bring solutions to the overall marketplace. You can use RAS to promote your current offer. And remember, the reason it's so important that you build a list is that what you are promoting today, likely a month from now, a year from now, you're going to at least add to what you're promoting. Doesn't mean you're going to stop promoting what you're promoting today. You're going to at least add. See, when I first came into network marketing, we were taught we only build one thing at a time. They said this to me: you can't chase 2 rabbits and ever hope to catch either one of them. And basically what they were saying is, if you try to promote this and that, you're not going to be successful at either one of those. Well, that was before the internet. The internet allows you to do some wonderful things once you start to understand how to market and you start to leverage systems. And so when in 2013, I was introduced to another 7-figure mentor, and it blew me away when he said, I've got 21 different income streams in about 12 different niches. And I thought, man, that's where you want to be. So that if one of those streams dries up, it doesn't upset the apple cart. 2012, August of 2012, we're promoting an offer, had never seen anything like that offer, had never grown a team like we grew. We grew a team of over 250,000. We had teammates and folks that were following us that weren't necessarily on our team, that for the first time they were making money. Many of them were able to quit their jobs and be full-time. And then with very little warning, really no warning, that company shut down on a Friday, shut down, never to be opened again, because the owners didn't dot some I's and didn't cross some T's. So, yes, there were people that made a lot of money with that offer. There were people that made more money than they had ever made with that offer. But when that offer came to an end, when that offer came to an end, and it wasn't their fault, wasn't my fault, they were left having to start all over because they didn't have a list. And at that time, I wasn't teaching what I'm teaching now because I didn't get it. Building your list allows you to not only promote what you're currently promoting, but any future promotions. You can go to that list. You can go to that list. You can go to that list. Plus, RAS pays 4 ways, and there are a couple of ways, one in particular, that one way alone, if you're really serious about offering solutions to the marketplace, that one way alone can be a 6 or a 7-figure business for you. I expect for yours truly, and for some of you, like my buddy Jeff and Troy, that's starting to get this stuff, I expect some people to get to 8 figures because of one income stream alone. Think this through. What if you had a system that you didn't have to worry about all the tech issues? Someone said, man, the tech issues, where you had a capture page already ready to go, that when someone opted in with their name and their cell phone number, immediately, and then they verify a PIN code to verify that they're a real person with a real cell phone, immediately your system started communicating with them. Immediately started communicating with them. You didn't have to worry about, how do I set up a lead capture page? How do I integrate an autoresponder? All that stuff is already done. Now, it's not an email autoresponder, it's an SMS text messaging autoresponder. What if you had a system where you could go into your system and you could see when one of your leads responded back to you or responded back to the system, and you knew there was a question there, and you could go and answer their question, or even if you didn't know the answer, you could come back to our private community and ask our private community, hey, somebody's asking me this, I don't know the answer, what's the answer? What if you had a system like that? What if you had a system where, because it's your lead, you can text them a link to whatever it is your offer is. You can text them a link about your company or what have you. What if you had a system that your hotter leads filled out a survey, and in that survey, that lead told you what they're promoting. They told you if they're making money. They told you if they're in struggle mode. What if you knew, because they did this survey, before you ever even sent them a text, if they've done the survey, what if you knew what their hot buttons were? That they want to make $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month, but the reason they want to make it is because they want to pay off some debt, or they want to send their children to college, or they want to set aside money for retirement. So you now not only understood that they wanted to make money, but you now have the hot buttons. You know what their hot buttons are, and you're able to hit that hot button. And so now when you send them an invite to your opportunity, invite to a webinar, and they said, hey, they wanted to make $10,000 a month so they could pay off some debt. Now you could send them a text message that says, hey, if you'd like to generate $10,000 a month to pay off some debt and to travel, join me on this webinar. So now you start to speak the language of your prospect. You want to know how you generate red hot buyer leads? There's no such thing as you just going out and buying red hot buyer leads. You have to warm them up. Yes, you can go and get mobile opt-ins, and that's a higher quality lead than a solo ad opt-in, opting into an email address, but you still have to develop the relationship. Our system already comes programmed with the autoresponder messages, and then you can come in behind the system, and if you want to send some additional content, you can. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a solution for our entire industry, and only a handful of people even know about it yet, because it just launched. It just launched at the end of the year, right before the holidays. So the people that were part of our intimate following, they knew it was coming and what have you, but it just launched. I would tell you, we just had somebody who just opted in, just took the survey. I won't say the company, but the guy is an owner of a network marketing company. He's an owner of a network marketing company, but he sees the solution. He sees it being a solution, okay? If it's good enough, and by the way, this is not some rinky-dink network marketing company. This is a pretty big one, okay? If I mention the name, you would say, oh yeah, some of you are even part of it, okay? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as we round third, you got to build and cultivate a responsive list. You want to become a solutions provider to the broader market. Our system is a solution to the broader market. And then number 3, commit wholeheartedly, I hope I said that right, to 1 and 2. My entire focus is just right here. My entire focus in my business is just right here. Continuing to build and cultivate my responsive list. Continuing to build and cultivate my responsive list, and providing solutions to the broader market, because the marketplace will reward you for the value, for the solutions you bring to it. Another way of saying solutions is value. The marketplace will reward you for the value you bring to it. The more value you bring to the marketplace, the more the marketplace is going to reward you with leads, with sales, with recruits. All right. Now, where does your current offer fit in this? Okay. Your current offer, unless your current offer is allowing you to build and cultivate a responsive list, unless your current offer is a solution to the broader market, then your current offer is still there. It just becomes a part of your portfolio. Instead of it being the part that you lead with, you lead in with something that's going to help others build their and cultivate their responsive list. That's a solution. And then as you get people, this is how you stand out among the crowd. You get people, let's say, in your SMS text list, because they're not in many other network marketers' SMS text lists, because most marketers aren't even building a list. Most network marketers aren't building a list, okay? Because they hadn't gotten that message. And the ones that are building a list primarily are building an email list. And we're not going to fool you on that, because I still continue to build my email list. But very few marketers, a very small percentage of marketers, are building an SMS text list. So as you build that SMS text list, you start building that relationship with folks, you start finding out what they're promoting, you start finding out what their struggle points are, you provide solutions to them. Now you can come back and talk to them about your specific offer, and the risk of them joining that offer but with somebody else is greatly reduced, because you have brought them value. Okay, so I'm around third with this. About 3 weeks ago, someone hits me up on Facebook about looking at a specific offer. I get this all the time. You get this all the time. And I really don't have time to look at everything that's out there. All right. But this was a little bit different, because I was doing a little review for this person. I told them, hey, send me what you are promoting, how you're promoting it. I'll take a look at it. I'll give you some ideas to help you with your promotion. All right. What was I doing? I was looking to bring them value. Okay. So I saw this particular offer, and I thought, boy, that's pretty interesting. You know, if they do what they say they're going to do, man, that could be a really good thing. Okay. Now, I don't have a relationship with that person. That person somehow connected with me on Facebook. Okay. And we just started a little brief conversation. So I don't really know this person. I'm certainly not in their list. Excuse me. So then, I think it was yesterday or day before, someone whose list I am in, someone that I have a great amount of respect for, sends me this same information about that particular offer. Now, I'm not interested in promoting anything that's not going to allow me to build and cultivate a responsive list, and it's not going to allow me to provide solutions. All right. So healthy coffee, I'm not going to foo-foo you on healthy coffee, but unless I can find a way to frame a healthy coffee offer as a way to help other marketers build their list and provide solutions to the broader market, then I probably won't promote a healthy coffee offer. And I'm not foo-fooing on healthy coffee. Okay. I just want you to know what my thought processes are as it relates to the marketplace. Okay. Well, because I'm in this person's list and they've brought me value, I took a deeper look at what they were offering. All right. Now, I still have some research to do and what have you. But if it does what they say they're going to do, it provides another solution that goes along with helping people build and cultivate their responsive list and becoming a solutions provider, so on and so forth. Okay. My whole point is, if I were to do or add that to my income producing portfolio, who am I going to do that with? Who am I going to buy that from or join that with? Is it going to be the person in Facebook who's up to this point has not brought me any value? Or is it going to be with the person that I'm in their list and they've already brought me value? It's going to be the person I'm in their list and they've brought me value. Okay? Now, I don't know if I'm going to add that or not. I may not, I don't know. We'll see. But if I were to add it, I already know that I could now go to my list and say, hey, I'm adding this and this is why. And anything that I ever add going forth has to pass this test. Is it going to help me? Is it going to help them build and cultivate a responsive list to get more people into their following? Is it going to provide a solution to the broader market? If I can't answer that, I'm not adding it to my portfolio, at least not right now. If I can answer that, then we'll see if we can add it. But everything we will do with that will be framing it, building that list, becoming a solutions provider. Okay? So I just wanted to let you know how I'm looking at things. So as people are pitching you and you're looking at, different opportunities out there, maybe you'll think the same thing. How does this offer help me build and cultivate a responsive list? How does this offer help me help other marketers build and cultivate a responsive list? What solutions does this offer provide me? What solutions does this offer provide the broader market? Okay, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you have been absolutely amazing. Let's get into an optional Q&A. We have recorded this. We will be sending this out, and you will be free to leverage this training. You can even put it on your own YouTube channel or what have you. That way you can have your link beneath it, or if you're sending this out in an email, you can send out your link to whatever. And we do this every Thursday, this type of training. So hopefully you'll make Thursdays a part of your regular business schedule. So if you have questions, what I want you to do is put them in your questions box. And we're going to take 15 minutes of optional Q&A. Queen, when you start to ask me questions, please remind me to repeat the question so that our video audience will know the answer that we're giving. And I'll wait for Queen to come on. Someone asked me, what does SMS stand for? It stands for short message service. So someone asked, what does SMS stand for? It stands for short message service, SMS. Okay? Queen, are you unmuted? Did you have to leave me? Okay, all right. Okay. All right, so Queen, remind me to ask the question, repeat the question for our recorded audience. Oh. You know what? Darn, I messed up. Here's what I need to do real quickly. I didn't give you your call to action. I need to give you the call to action real quickly. Bear with me. All right, so here's your call to action, ladies and gentlemen. The name of our system is called RAS, and if you've not started taking a tour, then you need to get back to whoever got you to tonight's webinar and ask them for their RAS tour link. For those of you who are new with us in RAS, when I say RAS tour link, that's just basically your link, your RAS link. And your RAS link is reverseadvertisingsystem.com/ whatever your username happened to be, okay? So if you haven't started the tour, whoever got you to tonight's webinar, just say, hey Queen, hey Bob, hey Sharon, hey Mary, send me your link so I can take the tour. When you take the tour, what you're going to do is you're going to opt into the capture page. There's a 2-minute video right here. Watch that 2-minute video, okay? Then put in your name and your cell phone number. The system is going to text you a PIN code. You're going to enter in that PIN code into the system. If for some reason you don't get that PIN code in a reasonable amount of time, the video tells you what to do so that you get the PIN code. Once you put in the PIN code, you're then going to be directed to a training module. I think it's about 12 minutes or so. And that training module is going to introduce a concept towards the end of the module called a tripwire offer. Every marketer needs to incorporate in your marketing a tripwire offer. And if you don't know what that is, the video will explain that, and it'll explain why every marketer needs to incorporate that. You're going to want to take advantage of that tripwire offer. Once you do take advantage of the tripwire offer, as a part of the offer, you are going to fill out a survey. That survey is going to help us better help you in the development of your business. Once you've completed that portion, you'll ultimately be able to take the full tour where you're going to learn more about the system, how it's going to help you build a responsive list, and even if people don't join your primary network marketing opportunity, they don't buy your primary product that you are promoting, how with the system you can still generate a 6, maybe 7, I'm saying now perhaps even an 8-figure income. Now, if you've started your tour, all right, you opted into someone's RAS system, but you did not complete the tour, what you need to do is you want to go to RAS on PC.com. Now, if you've never taken the tour, going to RASonPC.com does you no good, okay? You've got to opt in first. If you've opted in, but you've not completed the tour, go to RASonPC.com, re-enter your cell phone number. If you don't know what your PIN code is, the system will resend it to you, and the system will take you back to where you last left off so that you can start the tour from there. You can continue the tour until you've completed the tour and you've made the decision to get RAS. Now, I will say that we all sign a non-disclosure agreement or an NDA, and that NDA prevents us from publicly talking about pricing. All right, so there'll probably be some people saying, well, how much is it? It's not enough. All right, it's not the $400 a month I paid for my email marketing tools. Yet, if I had to choose my SMS text messaging over my email marketing tools, I would choose my SMS text messaging. But if I wanted to tell you, I couldn't do it without violating the NDA. Once you opt in and go through the entire tour, the system will tell you everything you need to know for you to make a competent decision to get RAS going forward, okay? So now with that, now I've given you your call to action. I'm sorry about that. I meant to do that before. Now let's get to our Q&A, Queen. See, the first question I see is someone says, how much does the system cost? Jack, go to somebody's system, and the system will tell you. We've got that NDA, and I can't violate it. Next question. Okay. Well, I tell you what. Let me do this then. Let me tell you one of the reasons why that is in the system. Why that NDA is in the system that keeps us from talking about pricing. Here's why. Let me tell you one of the big mistakes that so many marketers make. They talk pricing before showing value, okay? You see, what I'm finding out, Queen, people do what they want to do. You know, when people say, I don't have enough money, or it costs too much, or what have you, I'm talking about anything. That's because they don't see the value being more than the outlay. But when you see that the value is more than the outlay, you don't say, I don't have the money. You say, man, okay, all right, it's this amount. Man, I got to figure out how I'm going to come up with that. Because you see the value is more than the pricing. So what happens a lot of times with network marketers particularly, because we as network marketers, it's an oxymoron. It's marketing, but most marketers know very little about marketing. And so what happens is they start talking pricing before they show value. So I was on a webinar some time back. All right, I saw a Facebook ad. Okay, and on the Facebook ad, the guy was talking about how he routinely makes $2 to $3 to sometimes $4 for every $1 he pays in advertising. All right, you want to know how we're doing it? Join me on this webinar. Well, I'm like, well, shoot, yeah, if you're telling me if you can invest $1 in advertising and you get back $2, or you can invest $1 in advertising and you get back $3, or you get back $4, man, I'm all in. Okay, all right, so now he gets on the webinar. All right, this was a 2-hour webinar, and Queen, he brought the goods. Queen, he brought the goods. He brought the goods. And at the end of the webinar, there was a particular system that he had, and they had done a great job of building this entire funnel from, you know, the opt-in to the presentation. They had done a phenomenal job, okay? The product was a great product. I didn't get it for the product. I got it because I wanted to understand how he built out this whole system, because I wanted in my marketing to not just market a product or not just market a network marketing company, but I wanted to build out systems so that my team could duplicate. So I really got it not for the product. I got it because the system was so kick butt. Now, guess how much it was, Queen? It was $5,000. Now, had he led off with, hey, come to this webinar, it's going to be a $5,000 price tag, do I go on the webinar? No, because I'm not looking to spend $5,000. And what he did brilliantly is he showed how by having this particular high ticket offer, that when he got a sale, he was able to generate $2, $3, $4, in a return. So he showed how maybe he did $1,000 in advertising and how he made $4,000 because he got so many sales, as an example. But what got me was the whole system. That's why I did this. I wasn't looking to do that, Queen, I promise you. Now, the whole point about why this is so that people who are more novices don't start discussing pricing, no matter how high, no matter how low, without people seeing the value, okay? And that's something you should always do in any of your marketing, all right? One of the things in network marketing, a lot of times they talk about, you know, when you go to the replicated webpage of the company, they talk about the pricing, and that's premature because there's not the value. So you want to present the value first, because Queen, when at the end of the webinar, when we got at the end of the webinar, I already knew I was going to get whatever I already knew I'm going to get it. I don't know how much, you know, I might have to finagle something. I'm going to get it, okay? When he said $5,000, I thought that's pretty cheap for what I just saw. It doesn't mean that you just had $5,000 sitting around, but the value. So that's why partially why that NDA is in there, so that it keeps marketers from making major mistakes that marketers make by discussing pricing before anybody's had a chance to go through the system and see what the system is all about. All right, so Queen, did I get any other questions as we were doing that, or is that it? Non-disclosure agreement. I'm sorry. You don't pay an application before touring. You start the tour without an application fee, okay, or without a tripwire. Um, then at the end of the first module, there is the tripwire. Once again, you need to go through and understand. Well, I'll tell you what, we got a little time. So let me tell you what a tripwire is and why a tripwire is so important, okay? Okay. All right. You will not hear this terminology typically in network marketing. This normally comes in more internet marketing. I'd never heard of this until I started going through some very higher level internet marketing training, masterminds, and things of that nature. Okay. All right. So what happens is you're out in the marketplace, you are doing some type of advertising, and you're getting leads to opt into a system. All right, which makes them a lead. All right, so they opt into something. Opt into a system, okay? All right, so now, you normally are gonna have what's referred to as a lead magnet, a reason for people to give you their name and their email address, a reason for people to give you their name and their cell phone number, okay? There has to be a reason that people would give up that valuable information. Now, you have the opt-in. What you want to be able to do very quickly is you want to be able to determine the temperature, how do you ever you say that, temperature of your opt-in, okay? So right now, you've got 100 opt-ins. What does that really mean? They've opted in, you've got their email address, or you've got they're in your SMS text list, but it's when you offer a tripwire. A tripwire is a high value, low outlay offer. It's the first recommendation that you're giving to your lead for them to potentially pull out a credit card. See, you don't just want opt-ins. You want people that are ultimately going to do what? Buy or join. Someone said, how do I get hot buyer leads? Okay. Well, everybody comes into your list primarily, unless you know them from social media or friends. The majority of people that will ever enter any of your lists are going to be cold. We want to warm them up by providing solution-oriented information. All right. And that's what that 12-minute initial video is all about. But then what you want to then move folks to is to a tripwire offer that's a high value, low outlay offer, meaning it's not going to break the bank. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to ask their spouse about it, okay? And so typically in the internet marketing space, a tripwire offer is $50 or less. You've seen this when if you've bought any info products, or if you maybe bought a little membership site, you've seen things that was $27 or $47. It was, man, high perceived value, but it wasn't a financial risk or financial what have you. You know, if you got the product and you didn't like the product, you know, you're out of $27, so what? Okay? But it needs to be high value because this is the first introduction that you have to this person where you're asking them to make a purchase decision or to make a buy decision or to make a join decision. Now, what internet marketers use this for is to segment their list. So what they will have is they will have a list that has opt-ins. All right, people that have just opted in, but maybe haven't bought anything, maybe haven't joined anything. And then they will have what they call a buyer's list. And this buyer's list is someone that has proven that they're willing to take out a credit card or take out a debit card and buy something, okay? Now, which of those lists is a hotter list? Your list of just opt-ins or your list of buyers? Your list of buyers. Your list of buyers is a much more responsive list because they've proven that they're willing to buy or that they're willing to join. Remember what I said earlier on in my email list. All right, I've got a list of opt-ins where I'm working on developing that relationship and providing them value so they become warm and they become hot and they join and they buy. But then I have another list of folks that have been a part or are a part of, maybe a specific network marketing company that I'm promoting, and maybe I personally enrolled them, or maybe they're on my team somehow. That's basically a buyer's list. So if I were to start promoting a new network marketing offer tomorrow, the very first thing that I would do is I would go to my buyers list, my network marketing list, people that are either in or have been in network marketing with me or on my team before. And the way you get that is by having a tripwire. Our system, what it does is when someone opts in, you see they are an opt-in. When someone does the tripwire and then they do the survey, you see that they have done the survey. And the system automatically starts a different autoresponder sequence to this list. Now see, if I was doing this without my system, I would have to do all that, and that gets real techy. In other words, if somebody opts into my email autoresponder, lead capture page, they're an opt-in, okay? Well, the messages that's going to them is, hey, join me, buy from me, join me, buy from me. Value, join me, value, buy from me, okay? But then when someone actually buys or joins, you'd like to have them go to a different list because the messaging to those folks is going to be a little bit different. To do that outside of our system is not an easy task, especially if you don't know anything about, tech stuff. Our system automatically does that. So I can go to our system and I can pull down everyone that's just opted in, but they have not taken advantage of the tripwire offer. And then I can go into our system and I can pull everybody that's taking advantage of the tripwire offer because those are more responsive leads than my non-opt-ins, okay? So there's a reason why that tripwire offer is there, and I can tell you that when you use that and understand that, you'll get higher conversions when you have a tripwire offer because you will know who your hotter prospects are and you will spend more time and your resources with those hotter prospects than someone who's cold that isn't a buyer just yet, okay? So you got some extra training nuggets there. All right, Queen, I'm past my 15 minutes, so if we had more questions, I just don't have time to get to them. What was that? Well, here's the thing. Jeff is the guy that I was telling you who made $40,000. All right. He didn't make $40,000 just because he hoped and he wished. Jeff invested in his business, building his list, cultivating his list. Here's the thing I want you to understand, okay? Here's what I want you to understand. And I know for some people, money might be tight, okay? But when it comes to building your business, don't just look for the cheapest way to build your business because oftentimes, Queen, you get what you pay for, okay? Be willing to invest in your business, and investing in your business isn't just joining a company and being on auto ship, okay? That should be the least of your investment in your business. Your business is really you and your following, building your responsive list, building you so that you become a better you and working on personal development and all those good things. And then building your following, building your list, okay? That's your true asset. Because when you do that, then you can go to that list when you have a new promotional offer. And Queen, it's an ATM. It's an ATM because you have that list, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, you've been amazing. We did record this. Queen, we got the questions in and the answers too. So we'll be able to send out the entire training. I will try to get it out by tomorrow afternoon, Friday afternoon. If it doesn't come out on tomorrow, then it would likely come out sometime Sunday afternoon. But I'll try to get it out tomorrow. If you, by virtue of you being on the webinar, you should already be opted into our email list so that you will get that. And those of you that have RAS will also post that in our private community so that you can send that out to your audience. Those of you who are in RAS, what we'll also do is we will provide the actual raw file. So, Queen, if you want to take the raw file and load it up to your own YouTube channel, take the raw file and load it up to some other video sharing site, load it up to your blog or what have you, that you can do that. And Queen, just get used to doing that on a weekly basis. At least, you know, if you will follow us intimately, ladies and gentlemen, you know that every week you're going to have a video, you're going to have a recorded training that you're going to be able to share with other marketers in the marketplace to give them extreme value. So they start looking to you for value, and ultimately they start joining you and buying from you. Okay? With that being said, we love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. Queen, I hadn't done any singing lately. Huh, we're gonna have to do something about that. No, it's not. There you go, Ruby. Congratulations, Ruby. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Have a rastastic remainder of your evening. Good night, everyone. Have a great weekend.